Welcome to the 7th chapter with Kayrnix. Been a while without playing this because I had a small cold that made me feel not in the mood for recording anything. I'm just taking it again. We are going to make this mission, and probably this will be a short chapter. I wanted to make the 7th chapter already, so I have not quite thought of anything to speak about, but I could oh yeah, that wet guy was already dead. Oh, access to 2 of the slicing, scavenging, armor mech. Oh wait, I have to pick the 2 that I want. Damn it, I'm choosing that tile. It vanished. Oh yes, I did the Black Talon flashpoint solo mode, so I'm quite higher. Well, actually, I'm not that higher level than intended, as Kayrnix is already 16, but I think the point at which characters are to leave the planet and do the final mission is 19. Here the Ravager is housed by the looks of the device. It's clear that the scavengers have recently dismantled key pieces from it. You will have to reclaim the missing pieces in order to repair the Ravager. So though I'm not following anymore those anime YouTube commentarists, because as I said, either hacks that don't watch everything and then claim their point of view is valid even when it's missing the key parts, and what they say the series doesn't do, it's done, just they didn't watch the part where they do it, or they are hypocritical idiots. But it seems no, there was another series that was akin to that of Goblin Slayer, in that there was a lot of fuss from the start and some controversy made out. Again, it's not a series that I think it's that great. But got to find again how some of those are nothing that can be trusted. Level 16. Let's see, do we have, no, we don't have anything new. Let's try this. So the series in question is named, is translated as The Rise of the Shield Hero. One of the alternate world series that are so prevalent lately in anime, and the problem apparently was that, oh no, they dared to make a woman to be the bad guy, because we are all for being not sexist. Women can be the same as a man, but oh, for what sake? How can a woman be a villain and do evil stuff and lie and work against the hero? No, only men can be evil. And of course, women are like men, but they are not allowed to have their own way of thinking or of being and opinions, and they must adhere to every one of them to our vision of feminism, because that series is based off the work of a woman. But hey, we don't like this because a woman is the bad guy and Hawk, and we have decided that no, woman can be the villains. Because we have decided that that is not cool with feminism, then we must put in doubt make the fact, we must doubt the fact that the author is a woman, because a woman must be in according to our vision of what feminism is. How does a woman get and think and work outside of that? Every woman must think the same, like sheep. Again, a part of it is also one of the villainies that the woman does, is falsely accusing the hero of abusing her, which I think is probably another point why they get so uppity about that. Again, I didn't watch what the one that says it's cool if it's homosexuality in there, so abusing a little kid or the threat of abuses against a little child are fine because it's homosexuality, and then it's fine, and so, and have little trouble with that, with those scenes being played for laws either. In here it doesn't happen. It's just the woman side. Oh, he attacked me, and he tried to do bad stuff with my. I wouldn't be surprised if they thought that feminism also demands that what is the English? The presumed not guilty until proven otherwise must not approve if the accuser is a woman. How can a woman do bad stuff? Men can falsely accuse of the most grievous crimes, but a woman, no. Women are not capable of the same things as men are. And sit like that.
It was foolish of you to return here.
Uh-oh. Looks like we got another fight on our hands.
Those pieces you took from my minions belong to me. They will enable me to exact my revenge on Lord Farshal. I am Lord Vacuous, the conqueror of Begeddon, the killer of Garatak the Singed. Return what you have stolen or burn.
I choose burn.
Die at the hands of Vacuous.
Well, at least no, I can do that. Why does this discipline? Grant you rights points out of the first jump. Well, another point in which I saw another example of another commentator of those critics from YouTube about anime is from one that I didn't know before, but he makes a collaboration, a long video talking about it, but then into question that the author is a woman because a woman must be thinking and doing things like we think every woman must do, because women are like clones. They must think all the same. No individual thought, no individual criteria for their minds. And well, he goes on and says, well, later I continue. Okay, so the other big point is that the protagonist, after being saying everybody accept the false accusations by the villainess, and he is completely disheartened by it and angry at the false accusations, and the others seem to believe that everybody believes her, and how he sees his dreams of being a savior in this world crumble. He becomes very bitter about it, and as he wanders about town because he has depressed and bitter because of the accusation and that he no longer has, he doesn't have a party. he is approached by a slave trader, and looking at the slaves he has to offer, he buys one slave, one girl, one raccoon girl, because it's a human animal hybrid. In this fantasy world there are those species, and that is a girl that is based of a cross between of a race that is a cross between raccoon and human. It is not that within the universe raccoons and humans can have children. It's just a beastman race, so to speak, and that's the description. Okay, so it's at the moment looks like a little girl, not very little, but a little girl, and that is scared, and damn it. Now Pepet appears here, and finally she begins to hear me. Okay, so he looks at her. He needs someone to fight for him because, as the said hero, he lacks where am I? I will attack this guys. Well, he lacks offensive capabilities. He can't pick a weapon. He must fight only with the seed that he has. But the seed only has abilities to protect himself, to defend.
Mission accomplished.
He needs companions that can provide the attack part. And because of the false accusations, nobody wants to be with him. Nobody wants to work for him. So when that slave trader approaches him, he finds himself with that he has little money to buy the slaves, and he does need someone to fight for him. And he picks, for some reason in the anime isn't mentioned, why isn't clear why he picks that girl. And he buys it.
Ready for departure. Enjoy your
It isn't, I think he doesn't quite like the idea of having a slave, but the world works like it works. Their slavery is legal, and he has no other way by which he possibly can get someone to fight for him. There goes after he buys her, and well, we see that soon that though he acts tough, he does care for her and takes good care of her. He treats her well with the appearance of that toughness. He allows her some fun. He buys him a ball so that she in a sense is watching two kids playing with the ball and smiling and seeming happy about the ball, and he sees that and decides to buy her the ball. So it is established that he doesn't like the idea of having slaves. He buys her because he doesn't see any choice. It is that or get killed in the phase that are to come. And he treats the girl right. He doesn't free her, but in a way you can also think that he chose her in part because he sees it as that the girl is not being attended well by the driver, and he says even if he says he's going to use her to fight for him, she will be taken care more properly by him, and she has more chances of having a decent life, a good life with him than without him and waiting for God to know who to buy her. That if she doesn't die without being bought because she is sickly, and he cures her later after the conversation.
When I sent you into the Dark Temple for the Ravager, I thought it might be the last time I saw you, apprentice. The prisoner grows weaker by the minute. There's no time to spare. Stand back and bear witness.
You're wasting your time. I will not.
Yes, the Ravager has seized his mind. Excellent. In his condition, we don't have long before the ordeal liquefies all brain matter.
I hope the results are gory and gruesome.
I do not care what we see as long as I hear what I want. Republic Worm, you have the information I desire. Tell me everything.
I am Republic Information Service on special assignment to verify possible Imperial spy on Nar Shaddaa, commissioned by Jedi Council, acting on suspicions provided by Master Dromund Kaas.
Dromund Kaas. That's a name I grow tired of hearing.
One of your enemies, I take it.
My oldest and most hated enemy. An old wound that continues to fester. Dromund Kaas is a Jedi Master who infiltrated the Sith. I rooted him out. Then he nearly destroyed me and fled. He's dedicated himself to proving that the Sith have spies embedded within Republic and Jedi ranks. I've thwarted him at every turn, but he is tenacious. How did Dromund Kaas come to suspect my spy on Nar Shaddaa? Tell me, Republic wretch, what alerted him?
Master Dromund Kaas has a new Padawan. She seems to know any being's true nature. She senses hidden darkness and untapped purity.
Astonishing. I've never heard of the Force granting such a gift. Tell me, how does her power work?
All I know is when Master Dromund Kaas brought her to Nar Shaddaa, this Padawan sensed darkness in your spy simply by seeing him.
It's a Padawan.
That is what the
Not
Jedi
what
call
I
their
thought.
trainees.
What's
It
that?
means she is not yet a Jedi. If this young Padawan can see through deception and disguise with such little effort, she threatens everything I have worked for. Continue, Republic dog.
Kaas believes his Padawan's ability is foolproof, but the Jedi Council is skeptical. I was to provide the proof, but I wasn't able to report my findings.
must know more about this Padawan.
Yes, my apprentice. Such a threat must not wander the galaxy unchecked. Who is this Padawan, you Republic pest? Tell me everything you know about her.
She was found on Alderaan. Her power first emerged training on Tatooine. And Jedi sent another agent to investigate someone she suspected on Balmora.
It's fading. Is she human or one of the Jedi's cursed aliens? Where can I find her? What is her name?
I have nothing more.
The Ravager has emptied his mind. That is all we have to go on. A few random places within the greater galaxy where Dromund Kaas and his Padawan have been.
Send me to find this Padawan.
You mirror my thoughts, apprentice. Dromund Kaas is a relentless crusader, and this Padawan and her unprecedented power threaten everything I have achieved. Your duties are likely to take you to the far reaches of the galaxy. I will need to deploy you at will. You shall have a starship of your own. You've earned it. Go to my personal hangar in the spaceport and claim it.
You bet I've earned it. This is long overdue, Baras.
I'm the one who dictates the timing of such things. I must ponder our next move. Waste no time. Get your starship in my hangar and wait for further instructions.
Yeah, let's go before he tells me to clean all this up, okay?
Let's select this as the tank, so this is what I want. Yep, better. And I want the crystal to have the lightsaber to have the crystal color.
You're good to go.
Master Dromund Kaas, warrior. The Jedi Dromund Kaas is one of the Order's most veteran masters, and the personal nemesis of Darth Baras. Although valued for his experience, he is known to challenge the Order's rigid precepts in his crusade against evil in the galaxy. The determined Dromund Kaas even dared to touch the dark side during his time behind the Imperial border, but emerged a valiant champion of the light. Dromund Kaas is driven to expel the Imperial infiltrators he believes are hidden throughout the Republic. Learning of a Padawan who could see a person's true nature, Dromund Kaas immediately claimed the young Jedi as his student. He has dedicated his life to her tutelage and protection, hoping she can expose the corruption the Jedi Council has long denied. So the thing is, as I said, he buys the slave out of being the only choice he has. He treats her well, and to an extent he reasons he does expresses his dislike of slavery, but he does that because of that and treats her well. And then this one, another of the hacks, I will call them hacks, though that doesn't mean they never say something valid. One of the hacks has a good series, appreciating correctly the great series that is
Ready for departure.
Log Horizon. A series that is hard to get into the first time I watched it, and it happens to many people. I thought it was pretty bad, boring and childish, but After seeing a lot of praise upon it, I watched it again and I loved it. I found it is much better than I thought. It is actually very good. And seeing it a third time, I liked it even more. So anyway, that the guy then goes and says that in the manga, or in the light novel, rather, he says when he decides to buy the girl that she reminds him of an old classmate, and that buying her could be a way of avenging, of punishing that girl by proxy of that slave. Well, as I did with the Goblin Slayer thing, I took my hands in the manga. It was in the manga where he said that I'm going to check still in the light novel that I also got my hands onto, but I've not read it yet, at least not to that point. Well, but I think I'm pretty sure he mentions the manga, and he says the manga that is available in Crunchyroll manga, in mobile. He says that he refers that she reminds him of that classmate, but in the manga that is completely false. I'm open still because I have not checked the books, that perhaps that is in the book and the guy mixed the books and the manga. But I doubt the book does that either, because I would expect the manga to be like the book in that eyesight, because it is true that the protagonist does something like that
Oh, look at that. We're going in style now.
in the reasoning of buying her.
A reward from your cowardly master for killing Lord Grathan's son?
Who wants to know?
Oh, I already know. I just find it dramatic to ask my prey questions I already know the answer to. A true Sith proudly claims his murders, so I will surely stake claim to my murder of you.
Plan on boring me to death.
You have guts. I'll give you that. I am Lord Gratham's top assassin. He sends me to eliminate those he wants to suffer the most. I'm here to kill your friend for murdering the son of my master.
Time to shut you up.
These are the last words you will ever hear.
Mess with us now.
Okay, so as I was saying, what actually happens in the manga is not that. He says, because the guy says that she reminds him of an old schoolmate that he hates and wants to punish her for proxy. But what he does is say in the manga is say she reminds me of her, or she reminds me of that woman, and that's all he says. There's nothing about old schoolmates of anybody from his earthly life. it is that woman, and by the context it's clearly that the face of the girl reminds him of the villain, that he wants revenge. And yes, in a way it's a stupid robot. I'm going to pass over it. It annoys me.
Do I seem gentle to you? Tell me your attack
Well,
protocols, Droid.
I was not constructed for
it is
violence,
clear that
Master,
he refers
but I am
not
still
to anybody that
Welcome aboard this
was with
very
him
fast Imperial interceptor. With versatile craft combining a
in
starfighter
the
capability with armament to rival Darth
original world, but the villain, and that he can get some pleasure at least of the thought that imagining that the villain is the slave.
Are you at least capable of...
I still have to get to that point in the novel, and when I get there I will confirm whether the novel is the same and that guy is making up bullshit about what the protagonist reasons to buy her, making up the old schoolmate, or if he spoke and said it was in the manga, what meaning that it was in the light novel, which is not something that I can rule out completely, though I suspect it's bullshit. I will talk with these hollow terminals, and that will be the end of the
I
chapter.
trust you find your starship satisfactory.
It's an outstanding vessel.
I hope that it serves you well. There is much to be done. My interests must be protected, and my enemies destroyed. Dromund Kaas' efforts to expose my spies and prove his Padawan's power to the Jedi Council must meet with systemic failure. You will exhaust yourself in this charge.
Danger only makes things more fun.
The information we siphoned from that Republic agent will be our map. We know my spy on Nar Shaddaa was being surveilled. We know where this Padawan was discovered, where she trained, and that the Jedi have sent someone to investigate my spy on Balmorra. The Padawan will have to be hunted down and destroyed. But first you must secure my network by silencing my spies on Balmorra and Nar Shaddaa.
Consider them wiped from existence.
Nothing less than that will be sufficient. My contacts on Balmorra and Nar Shaddaa will detail what must be done. Your tasks are paramount, apprentice. Bring cruelty. Bring rage. Bring death.
And since she's already here, we'll go to bed.
Okay, hey, Sith Master person of questionable temper and such. I've been extra good with the behaving. Did you notice? So, how about taking the shock collar off me?
How about some pain instead?
That hurts. Do you not get that?
I enjoy this.
Frickin'. No. I won't let you bait me. Lead on. I'll be following like a good slave.
Influence gain fit plus 100. And well, that is all for today. Thanks for watching if anybody has watched up to this, and goodbye.